Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. Today we're not going to be doing a gameplay video because I've hurt my finger. It's killing me. I've ripped the nail out of the nail bed and it's sore as hell. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do a top 5. And as you've probably seen by the title and the thumbnail and all the rest of the shit, I'm going to be doing top 5 Game Boy platform games. Because it's my favourite genre on the Game Boy. I think it really does handle platformers and action platformers, stuff like that, Robocop, that kind of game. It handles them really, really well. I think it's just perfect for playing that kind of games. So I have finished around about 70 platformers, action platformers. So I've got quite a good idea of what's good and what's bad on the system. And I'm going to pick my top 5. I'm only going to pick from games I have played through completely. So there's some games I haven't completed yet, but I think are really good. But they're not going to feature in this list. So let's call this list a so far list. Not a all time, so far. I may do an updated list next year or something. So let's jump straight in. Number 5. This one is a bit of a hidden gem. I never really hear people talking about it, but I absolutely love this game. And I wasn't expecting to. It's Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. As you can see on the cartridge, looks like a bit of a shitty game. Tarzan looks like he's taking a really, really rough shit, doesn't he, on that? But when you get onto the gameplay, it's a nice cartoony platformer. And you've got to go around the levels and collect certain items. Might be animals in cages, might be flowers, whatever it is. There's always a reason behind it, there's a bit of a storyline. And you've got to run around and find these hidden around the levels. And it is hard, believe me. I don't think it's possible to complete this game without losing a life, because you will run out of time on some of these levels. They are massive and there is stuff hidden all over the place in really hard to find spots. It took me a good while. I don't even know how long it was. I played it and then I stopped playing it because it was like hard as hell. And then I played it again and got a little bit further, stopped playing it again because it was hard as hell. And then I got stuck on, what, the 4th or the 5th level? I can't remember. I think there's 6 levels altogether and I got stuck on one of the levels. I couldn't find something that were hidden. And it took me ages and ages and ages to find it. But I eventually got past it. So I'd say it took me all in a good 40 plus hours to finish this game. Which, that's a long time for the platformer for me. But it was great. I never got mad with it or stressed out. I enjoyed every bit of it. It's a really, really good game. The enemies are great. You've got a good range of weapons. You've got like 6 or 7 you can cycle through. The boss battles are immense. They're really, really good. Some of them take a while until you've worked out the attack pattern. They really are tough. But all in, it's a great game. It handles perfectly. It really does. When you press a button, it does exactly what you want it to do. You've got figured out all the different attack patterns from the different enemies. Even the swimming parts. I didn't mind the swimming parts and I hate swimming levels in games. Really enjoyed them on this. I thought it was great. It handled perfectly. So definitely go check this one out. It's a really cheap game. You can pick it up for about a tenner box complete or £1 cart only. Really, really cheap. And it's a great game. Definitely a hidden gem and one you should go check out. Right, number 4. Tough one with this. There were a couple of games that could have made it into this spot. But I went with Animaniacs. I loved this. I really did enjoy it. I've done a full gameplay of it on my channel, so if you want to see what it looks like properly, go check it out. I can't describe how good it looks. When you see gameplay of it on YouTube, it's normally captured from either a Game Boy player or an emulator. And playing on a Game Boy Advance SP really takes it to a whole new level. The shading and everything on the graphics, absolutely beautiful. The game looks stunning. And again, brilliant level layouts. Excellent, excellent controls. Feels perfect. The only tiny bit that is a bit glitchy is the attacks. And that is because they are so well animated that the animation to attack takes longer than you want it to. So you've got to jump and hit if you want to attack quickly. Otherwise it goes through the full animation, which looks really pretty, but can hold you up a bit. So you don't want to be doing that too much. But again, level layout, absolutely loved it. There's the odd little puzzle here and there to keep you busy. They're not tricky, you know, it's pretty straightforward stuff. But it's fun. And sometimes you'll do something and you'll fuck a puzzle up and you'll think, bollocks, and you can't go back and fix it. It's just tough shit. But you will die. You'll die a few times. So you'll remember next time you do that level, you got to climb over there, push that box that way, so that you don't miss out on the extra life or whatever you might have missed. The last level, balls hard. I will say that. There's a chase section on it, and my god is it tough. You've got to do everything pixel perfect. Every jump has to be so precise, otherwise you're just fucked. You're dead. But keep playing it, and it's great. I preferred it to the Mega Drive version. That's how much I loved this game. It was really good. And another thing I didn't mention, the sound. It sounds brilliant. The game is based around different film sets, and whichever film set you're on, the soundtrack is just perfect for that level. It really is. It just feels like a really well polished game, and it handles perfectly all the way through, keeps you playing, has a password system too, which is handy for when you die a lot, which you will on the last level, believe me. It's brilliant. Really, again, definitely worth checking out. It is a bit pricier as this one. Cart only tends to go around the £5 mark, but it's not really that common either, which is surprising because I'm guessing it's sold a lot. There will be a lot of copies out there, but it doesn't pop up for sale that much. I've seen box completed copies go for £30 plus, so you know it's worth checking out, but I wouldn't pay over the odds for it. Don't go spending a fortune on it. You will enjoy it though if you like platform games. Right, number 3. I've only played the first game in this series so far, which is why I'm choosing the first game in this series. I haven't played the rest of them. We're going with Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. Absolutely loved this game. Hard. Again, another hard one. To be honest with you, most of the games I'm picking here are hard games. But I like that. I like games that are challenging. They're not annoyingly hard. They're challenging. You get a little bit further every time when you're learning the level and perfecting it. That's what I like about it. But this game, wow. I've not really played that much of the Mega Man games in the past. I've played the Mega Drive version, which I thought it was alright, but it didn't feel like a Mega Drive game. You could tell that it wasn't, you know, originally made to be a Mega Drive game. So it just feels not perfect, does the Mega Drive game. And I've also played like some of the X games, the later games, which again I wasn't that fussed on. But going back and playing this one, I was blown away. I thought this game was perfect. It's made me want to hunt down all the early Mega Man games. That's how good it is. It's brilliant. I've bought Mega Man 2, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But I am thoroughly looking forward to it. So next time I make this list, maybe that'll be on it instead of this. But for now, it is Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. The level design is brilliant. It is so good. And you jump down into a place, you're normally going up and down levels rather than left and right. And you'll drop down into a place and there'll be an enemy sat there waiting for you. And you've got to be so quick and react perfectly to get rid of that enemy, otherwise you're fucked, you're dead. And you learn this every time you're going through the level, you're perfecting it and perfecting it. It's one of them games you just got to play it again and again and again until you're perfect at it. And it feels good. When you finally get there and you're perfect at that level and you can blast through it, you know exactly what weapon you need to change to by the time you drop down to the next platform. And all stuff like that. It feels perfect. It feels like you've beasted that game. You are the master of that game. It ain't doing naught to you anymore, you know. You are king. And that's the feeling that I really love to get from playing games. This gives it perfectly. Always, just letting you get that little bit further. There is sections in it though that are super tricky. There's a platforming section where you've got to jump on disappearing platforms. And you've got to jump just as the one below you is about to disappear and the next platform is appearing. And now and again, you've got to jump up and land on a platform. And if you time it wrong, you hit your head on it and drop to your death. And if you do it the other way, jump too early, you jump up before it's appeared and drop down to your death. So yeah, hard. But, you know, I got there in the end, I completed it, and I loved every minute of it. It took me about 3 days worth of spare time to get through it though, and most of that was spent on the last level, which has like a little annoying thing on it. If you're playing the game all the way through and you don't turn your Game Boy off, you get to like a pre-last level, where you get your password, and then after that there's a last level, and if you keep continuing you just go straight to the last level. If you turn it off, you've got to go to the pre-level when you put your password in, so you've got to play it all again, all that last section. Which, yeah, it don't matter because you've mastered that bit before it. You know what you're doing, you've played it that much. But it's annoying, but you just want to crack on and finish it, don't you? Loved it though, brilliant game. Definitely deserves to be in the top 5. And cheap as well. Surprisingly cheap for a Mega Man game. I think you can pick it up for about $3.50, cart only. You're looking at a bit more money for the complete box copy. Maybe about 30 quid. But still, that's affordable. It's a good game, it's a collectible game, and it's great. I can't wait to get stuck into the rest of the series. Right then, number 2. Gargoyles Quest. Oh my god, what a great game. This was very nearly my number 1 pick. I loved this game, I enjoyed everything about it. I'm going to give a big shout out actually while I'm mentioning this game to Woodlin37. Because I got it in a trade with Carl. He knew I wanted it and he kept an eye out for it. He got a copy cheap and I traded him for something I had. Can't remember what I traded him. But anyway, there it is. So go check out Carl's channel. Funny guy, if you've not seen him before, you'll enjoy him. Right then, the game, Gargoyles Quest. Tricky as hell. It's from the Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts series. It's part of that series. And it shows. Believe me, it is tricky. You play as the Gargoyle, who actually turns out to be Red Adama, who's one of the hardest enemies in Ghouls and Ghosts. He's got such an annoying attack pattern. But anyway, you're playing as him. But you don't know that until you get further into the game. And at being a gargoyle, it can cling onto walls, which is really, really cool. You can jump, hold onto a wall, jump off, hold onto a wall, stuff like that. And it adds a whole new element to the gameplay. But it makes it tricky at the same time. You can fly in between walls and stuff, but until you've powered up, you can't fly that far. And it's always in the back of your mind, can I make that jump? Can I do this? Can I do that? And you just got to learn what you can and can't do. You got to learn the limits of your moves all the way through the game. And it's tricky. It really is a tricky game. On top of that, it's sort of a cross between an RPG. In between levels, you're in like an overhead view of the world, and you've got to go find where your next level is. And as you walk along, you'll get random battles, which I generally hate in RPGs. But these ones aren't too bad, because it takes you to like a little platforming section, and it'll chuck a random enemy at you, which you've just got to kill. And you generally know how to kill the enemies anyway, so it's not too bad at all. But yeah, you get there, you find where you're going, you go talk to people, find out you've got to go to a different part to get a different item, and you're just following it. The storyline, bit bollocks if I'm honest, it didn't really interest me. But the gameplay, the platforming sections, perfection. They really are. Again, really tricky game. When you get towards the end, you've got a save point about 2 levels before, and you've got to get through it all. And my god, mastering that last section, that took some doing. Last boss was surprisingly easy though, I will say that. Some of the earlier bosses are a lot harder than the last boss. There's a really easy save spot on the last boss, which made it a bit of a disappointing finish, but overall, perfect game. Really does handle so well. It feels ace to play. You can tell that it's a Ghouls and Ghosts game as well, because the difficulty curve, it sort of meanders along and then all of a sudden it's BANG! You're fucked. And my god, it took some mastering, did that game. I loved it though, every minute of it. Definitely one of my favourite games on the Game Boy, not just a platform game. Favourite game. It is up there. It is perfect. Buy it. You can get it quite cheap as well. Again, box complete. You're looking at around 20 quid for this one. It's not too much. But for cat only, you can pick it up for under a £5. So definitely buy this one. On to the top spot then. I don't think it's going to be any surprise to anyone. I've picked Super Mario Land. Still the perfect platformer for me. When it comes to Game Boy games, if I'm in a bad mood and I want to play a quick blast on a game, it's always Super Mario Land. A lot of people have got a Tetris. For me, Super Mario Land every time. And I think it's just that I've played the game so much over the years that I know it inside and out. And I love it to bits. A lot of people tend to pick Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, over this game. I played through that not long ago, and I just found it really easy and slow. I didn't really gel with it. I thought the game wasn't enough. There wasn't enough content there for me to love it. But when I look back at Mario Land, maybe it's the same. If you didn't play it and love it as a child, then maybe you've got the same opinion of it. It's not a really particularly long game. It's not a tricky game. I love the shoot-em-up style levels though. They make it perfect for me. I mean, there aren't even hard boss levels in it or all like that. It is pretty much a breeze, is Super Mario Land. But it feels good to me. The music, everything about it just makes me happy. So it's my number 1 pick. I've talked about it a lot in the past. I don't know what it is about the game. I just love it. And it makes me want to play again and again and again. There isn't many games, even the other games I've mentioned in the top 5, I doubt I'd play through many of them again. But I will play Super Mario Land over and over and over. It never gets old. It is brilliant. So there you go, that's my top 5. Feel free to make a video response because I'm always looking out for more suggestions of what games to buy, what games to play. Love me some platformers on the Game Boy, so hopefully I'll find out some more hidden gems from you guys. I'll catch you soon with another video. Bye!